Hi, everybody, and welcome to my predictions for the week, and actually more my forecast, really, for what's going on. And there's a couple things I want to tell you about, and first I'll take off my glasses. The first thing is that this week we are looking at the week of July 22nd through, gosh, is it the 31st? No, I can't add. The 29th. So what we're looking at this week is the idea that we are entering Sun into Leo. So we're going from the Sun in Cancerian, which is very family oriented, very much like things that emotionally I need to clean up, to a very powerful Sun energy, Leo. Now, what does that mean for you, and what does that mean for all of us? Well, Leo is also often a time to shine, right? So it's not necessarily a time to actually, like, get in there and feel a lot of stuff. Now you can, but Leo is really a great energetic to bring out of us what's going on. So if you're looking to bring forward some of your dreams, some of the things that you want to put out into the world, Leo is a great time to do it. And let's take a look at the Chakra Wisdom cards. And as you know, look at me. I put 3 decks together. And I often do that with other decks, particularly with tarot as well. And when I'm reading the Chakra Wisdom Oracle, the first thing I look at is what's going on with chakras. And the thing that I want to say to you is our Western system has 7 chakra energy centers. And the idea of that is it's going to tell us where our focus is for the week. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull 3 cards for us, and we're going to look at the idea of darkness, dawn, and light, and the idea of what's really going on and what we're pulling out from our past. So one of the things I want to say to you is that as we move from the Cancerian sun into the Leo sun, just be prepared for a little bit of bumpy this week. I wouldn't say, listen, a turbulence on a plane doesn't mean you're in danger. It just means there's turbulence on the plane. So it's just a little bump. I wouldn't even say enough to put your seatbelt on. How about that? So let's look at the 3 cards I pulled. And as you remember last week, I talked about darkness, dawn, and light. And I'm going to stay with that theme for a little while until we get a little bit more comfortable, and then I'll move up into some other spreads. But this week, let's take a look at gossip reversed. Now let's look at the card right side up. Sorry, it's hard to see because the glare. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Can you see that? Yes. Okay. So when we look at the gossip card, one of the things I want you to notice is that there are 3 characters there. So when I talk about reading a card, reading a deck, it's important to notice how many characters are actually in the fable. Now, when we look at these cards, we don't see, when we look at mysticism, we only see 1 person. And here, when we look at, perfection, we only see 1 person. Am I right on that? Well, we actually see 2. We see her inside of herself. So that tells you that there's an inner wise self involved there. Okay, so that said, let's look at a reversal. Now, when we look at the reversal of the gossip card, it doesn't mean that nobody's talking about you, although it could. This is more about looking at the heart energy. We are looking at a green card, so this week is really about what your heart is into, what you're invested in, and what you're looking at creating in the week coming. Now, one of the things that happens in the fable of the gossip card is the townspeople resent her, and they don't understand why they're so negative, and they just, because she's got long nails, she's eccentric, she's different, she's an artist. She's someone who is dancing to her own beat. She is not looking at what other people are thinking of her. And this is a very hard place to be. So when I look at it as a reversal, it may mean going from Cancerian energy into Leo energy this week, the idea of maybe you have to just let your family have their own thoughts. Maybe it really is time to let go of people that you have held close to your heart that really don't need to interfere with what's going on in your life. And also their opinions don't matter. I'm sorry, in the long run of things, guys. One of the things I like to say is that when I worry about what someone else is thinking about me, I have to often say to myself, this is a really important thing to obsess about, and I'm going to do it tomorrow. And in the meantime, I'm going to step forward into what I know to be true. The mysticism card, here's an interesting thing. It's the fable of the woman from Aubergine. So there's actually 4 characters in the original fable. The original fables can only be found in my toolkit. It's the bigger book. And I'll talk about that a little bit because we're going to start that as well. But one of the things that I want to say here is when we look at mysticism, it's very important that you get that it's saying, you know, I'm already knowing the right answer. It's just that it may be hard for me to accept it. And so when I see this card, it tells me you already know what's coming. You already know what needs to be done. And you already know where you are with things. Sometimes, though, we can have an inkling of it and we don't want to face it yet. Now, the question also with mysticism here is it is a 6th chakra card. So it is that third eye, it is that psychic wisdom, but it's also family dynamics. So the question with mysticism is she going to ignore her own intuition or is she going to look at it? So if we go back to the gossip card, which is that heart chakra, we're really looking at, is she going to be able to transform and really take on what you want to? You know, when we look at you this week, we're saying, are you really going to be able to let go of all of that Cancerian energy and move into what you know to be true for yourself? And part of that, as we look at the perfection card, and I love this card, you know, it's a challenging card in the sense that it says perfection but let me tell you something, it's a wonderful fable. There's actually a few people in it. And one thing I want to say to you is, Are you Raspberry? That's the name of the girl in the fable. Or are you the elder? Are you the wise elder? And no matter which character you're playing this week, whether you're the one saying, hey, this is how you've chosen your life to be, or if you're the person saying, wow, I chose my life to be this way, it's very important that it be delivered with love and humility. And part of that is that it's in the 3rd position of the light, which says that, you know, when we look at the idea of perfection, is that in the fable, Raspberry's trying to be perfect in everything. And the wise elder says to her, you know, maybe people don't want to know your opinion about things. Maybe they want to just be loved for who they are. And so that's what this is about for you, is really allowing yourself and loving yourself, you know, as you are. And, you know, I love that cliche of self-love. Okay, I'm just going to say it because, you know, years ago I was being interviewed by my friend Sark had asked me to do a thing with her. And the person said, okay, so your topic's self-love. And I went, oh, that's not a good topic for me. What's another one? Because, you know, I think sometimes these cliches make us angry. I know at least for me they do. You know, self-love, as if I'm supposed to just know what to do. You know, as if a bath, like, you know, when I'm angry, sitting in a bath isn't going to make me calm. I have to find what works for me. And that's part of what this reading is about. And when we look at, I just love the minute I do a reading, no matter where I am, a helicopter comes overhead. And the reason I'm laughing is because I am in the middle of Asheville, North Carolina. Okay. You know, it's like, where's that coming from? Anyway, the thing, here it comes. So the thing I want to say about this is when we look at the idea of a reversal here and really the idea of you already having your answer and then the perfection card, what it's telling me is, who are you in this? Are you the person who is judging someone else for being creative and really trying to hold them back? Or are you the person who's holding yourself back? And, you know, it's very important that you get which role you're playing. You know, sometimes, and I've had this happen where a woman came to me and it was her trying to hold her daughter back from getting married too young. And of course, it's like 15 years later, you know, and the daughter married young and they had kids and they're happy and she's gone on to school. So, you know, people finding their own path, finding their own voice is going to be an important part of this week. And letting others shine around you is also going to be part of this. Is that maybe them shining is a reflection for you of what you can be. And remember, you know, sometimes people say to me, oh, I'm seeing everybody in love but me. And I say, well, wait a minute. If you're seeing so many people in love, it's got to be around there for you somewhere. So, you know, one thing I want to say about this spread that I think is very important, we look at the reversal as like a reversed planet. This may be something you're withholding from yourself, and energetically looking at what matters to you in your heart. What is it you need to step into this week to transform and accept your intuitive path, and ultimately give up the idea that it has to look a certain way, be a certain way. Just do you, because you are the only person who can do you well. And that is our reading for this week, and I'm going to see you next week. And please check out my other videos, and if you like the video, please subscribe, and I will see you soon. All right, I'm going to try to get out of here. There we go. All right.